Dune Awakening, a game with lots of sand. Look at that plume. A huge alien worm addicted to steroids. No, he's coming. And this creepy man that you surely wouldn't leave alone with your kids. Just two guys hanging out. They might kiss. I have 100 days to complete a list of tasks which include discovering this entire map, building top tier bases, becoming strong enough to survive this harsh environment, and set up the most dominant guild in this server. I'm shooting him. I got him. I killed him. No, I'm getting shot at. Welcome to my 100 days in Dune Awakening. Welcome homies and homettes to this Dune Awakening adventure. We find ourselves waking up in this cave clenching our stomach because we ate a little bit too much Mexican food last night. Or there was a wild party. I'm not sure about these guys, but I don't think they survived the party. Oh, this guy he peacefully just said, see you later, Bolt, right next to his mates. Unlucky, man. How did we get here exactly? Well, let me give you a quick rundown. First, I had to make the sexy looking character and create a unique backstory. Then I met a creepy looking lady that asked me a bunch of random questions. Basically, I'm a cultured person with a middle class background, but most importantly, I was a Bene Gesserit, one of the 5 classes that you can pick up in this game. The old lady tells me to put my hand in her box. At first, I didn't realize it was a physical item. I'm glad it is. She then puts a needle at my neck, but I actually prefer it in my arm. I don't think she knows that yet. Anyways, the whole reason that we're in this cave is because of this guy. Well, I think it is. I'm not too sure. I actually skipped the cutscene. Once we finally made it out of the cave, we then went through a tutorial type zone where we learned how to use a cut array, which helps us mine minerals, learned the basics of combat, and saw a dead guy wearing a red necklace. So I touched it. This leads us to another cutscene, which ends with us crashing our ship in the middle of this desert.
Run. No.
I'm running. Yeah. This large penile-shaped creature, this is the sandworm, the biggest threat in Dune Awakening. All right, we're in the game. Yes, we are now officially in the game. Now, since the core of this game is a survival game, we had to gather a bunch of resources straight off the rip. We were then instructed to craft ourselves some clothing, and the starter clothing that we could make was this makeshift gear. It's not the most flattering gear, but it should add some protection. Day 1 consists of us just completing some basic objectives. The game really holds your hand at the start until you get your bearings, and then you're left to your own devices. Day 2, I discovered the scavenger camp. There were enemies inside them.
Hello, motherfucker.
So I shot them. They died. Since I chose Bene Gesserit as my starting class, I had special abilities, and this is one of them. Running around, I ran into another player finally. Another player? Peaches! I think they were AFK. I then daringly tried to cross this desert part, trying not to get eaten by one of the sandworms. Uh-oh. This could be bad. I kind of thought that the Bene Gesserit sprinting would have got me there quicker. This was kind of scary. This was a long run. This bar right here shows the vibrations that you're making on the sand, which notifies the sandworm that you're nearby. Oh, I'm dead. I'm so dead. I'm so dead. Am I not dead? Ah, you piece of shit. You stupid sandworm can't get me. Yeah, stupid. Somehow we managed to make it over to this rocky formation and we got away. I was given another mission to build my own base. Obviously, if I put it on the sands of the desert, it'll probably get munched on by a worm. So we've got to try and keep it safe amongst all these rocks. This place will only be temporary since we're in the starting zone. We're going to have to move eventually. Now, for us to claim a spot, I had to place down this thing. It's called a sub-fief. This little glowing box around us, that's our location that we can build in. It's not a very big location, but it's enough for us to build something that we could start with. Again, this is only a starter base. Things will change later. I placed down a little storage bin to hold our resources, and then finally this generator to power our shields. We completed this mission and went into a little cutscene. With our base now complete, it's time to take down some of these enemies and put needles in some suspicious places. All right, time to stick this needle up your butt. Basically, this extracts blood from them. No, we are not vampires, but we need their blood so we can bring it back to base and purify it into water. Doing this makes us trip out a little bit. We start seeing a glowing light in the sky. No, I'm not dead. I think I'm high on spice. Like, what we see is kind of crazy, not gonna lie. Anyways, back to it. We're given a mission that we need to try and find the first trial of Aquil, which is located in these ancient ruin type buildings. Someone leaving. Pineapples! What's up, bro?
Oh, what's up?
To complete this mission, we had to go and approach this table where we found some spice. And this is the special spice that goes up your nose, not the type that goes on your chicken. We then travel to an ultimate world, aka your dreams, where we must complete a trial. This particular one, we just have to avoid some lights and listen to a random ghost lady. The story in this game is actually very fascinating and very interesting. Once we awoke from our dream, there was a person standing there. Kind of creepy. I think he was watching me sleep. On the way out, I ran into one of the subscribers, Toaster Coaster.
You like the look? You like the snazzy?
Friend, you're looking snazzy. Guys, this is legitimately crazy. Funcom have sponsored this video, and let me tell you a little bit about it. Dune Awakening is an open world multiplayer survival game set on a massive scale from the developers of Funcom, who also make games like Conan Exiles, which I've also covered on this channel before. This game is set in the sci-fi universe of Dune created by Frank Herbert. In the description below, I have got the link to the Steam page so you can go and grab a copy of this game now. Trust me, I've sunk a stupid amount of hours into this game already. If you like something a little bit different, or you like survival games in general, you're probably going to enjoy this one. If you do cop this game as well, I am looking to recruit some people to my guild, so who knows, I personally might see you in the deserts of Arrakis. Shout out to Funcom for sponsoring this video. Day 3, I ran into another scavenger camp, started taking down this guy, and then I ran out of bullets. Rookie mistake. I returned back to base with some items that we had picked up along the way and deposited some of the blood that we had gathered. I then went ahead and crafted a fabricator, which is a crafting bench that obviously allows me to fabricate things, like the scavenger still suit. This aesthetically looks a lot better than what we were wearing, and it will help us stay hydrated. This is really good in the early game and while you're exploring, but it doesn't really provide you very good armor. Next, I placed down this ore refinery.
Delivery.
And then I heard someone at my door. This was Mr. Pineapples and Shay. They came over for a little visit. I had planned on making a guild, and these guys are going to join it. I just have to wait a little bit until I can do that. It's expensive. After our visitors left, I went and climbed this mountain. Not because I like climbing mountains, but it was because we needed to climb all of this for a mission. Once you get to a certain height, you can shoot up a survey probe. It's pretty cool to look at though. It's scanning everything. And we're learning the entire map. Yes, just like that, we have now discovered the entire bottom section of the map, which I'm trying to complete rather quickly. The next step, we had to go speak to Derek, our homie, the planetologist. If we complete a quest for him, he'll then teach us the ways of planetology. You can learn all the other classes by running around to the different trainers and asking them to do a quest and completing them. It's that simple. Oh, they want me to go clear the lab. That's fine, because we have to do that mission anyway, so I'll wait to do that mission until we have it in like the main story quest. Day 4, I was heading over to this place. This is the trade outpost. And along the way, I ran into a friend. Who this? Oh, that's Johnny. You creepy looking boy. Johnny! Johnny!
How are you doing?
Just doing my missions, bro.
I'm about to move on, bro. Do you need anything? I'm like loaded.
Nah, I'm pretty chilled. Johnny, you'll see quite a lot later on. But for now, we've got to get to a stage that we can actually progress. I then went ahead and entered the trade post. The Ornithopter copter's here. Oh, he's here! This is the Ornithopter pilot, basically like a taxi service. If you pay her, she can travel you to certain places around the map and to the social hubs. I then had to go to the contract board and accept some contracts. For a tiny little trade post, there's quite a lot going on here. This person's a trader. You can buy stuff from him. He looks like a vampire, kind of sounds like a vampire.
And while you're at it,
he's probably a vampire. There's so much to do before we can really open up these options in the game. Next, I had to travel to a shipwreck. It was quite the distance away. Fortunately, Pineapples came through and picked me up. Let's go! Let's go! It's always handy to have homies in the game that you're playing, especially when they're progressed a lot more than you.
Back in front of us, right?
Yeah, that's the one. Whoa! We made it over to the shipwreck and Pineapples went on his way.
Leave a 5-star review on Yelp.
I got you, bro. Then we began clearing this place out of its scavengers. All right, I think someone's here because it's kind of cleared already. Psych, somebody else already did it. Yep. Somebody's cleared this place. This gave me free access to all the loot. Oh, we got a better gun. That's actually not bad. Let's switch out the guns, actually. I'd farmed this place quite a few times in the beta test, so I am familiar with it. Although this place had been cleared out, they do respawn rather quickly. So this next room, there was a few enemies. And at the very end of this POI, we had to collect this band so we could exit this door. And this big container always has some really good items. We had now made a significant dent in the initial start of our progress. And we had unlocked this new armor set. The still suit we were wearing is good for hydration, but not great for armor. The scavenger suit that we've now put on will protect us a lot more. I then summoned my homie Pineapples to do the next quest with me. Pineapples, let's go to the lab.
The lab?
Yeah, we gotta run the lab. The testing station. Our next mission sent us to the testing station. Testing stations are similar to dungeons in MMOs or those kind of games. The servers were quite busy this time, so it looked like it had already been cleared out. A lot of things were already dead. Sure, we do miss out on a fair bit of combat, but ultimately, we've got a lot of time for that. This game is so content dense that we're not really gonna miss out on much. There's plenty of other opportunities. And on the plus side, we still got to loot a whole bunch of stuff. You see, the looting system in this game is very, very well done. It's per player, so if I loot this and Pineapples loots it, we both get different stuff. So it's not like I can steal out of a container and then he misses out and vice versa.
Do you want Solori to make the guild?
If I need it by that time, yeah, I'll ask.
Okay, can we not do it now? I think you can create a guild. Yeah, I'm able to right now if I really wanted to.
Oh, can you do it? I thought you had to. Oh, bro, it's only 1,000. I had learned a new lesson. We can now create a guild. Of course, I named it House Dodo. Also, we're currently recruiting, so if you're interested in joining and you want to play on some oceanic servers, let me know. My goal is to become the #1 guild in all of our server. Then took a peek at the Lansrad. The Lansrad works like a political system. You see all of these house plates right here? They're all the different houses, and if you win their vote, you can then vote on a decree, which will give a bonus for an entire week. You see, this one here can give us the Lansrad vehicles. This one's great for farming, and this one's great for PvP or any kind of combat. Anyways, we completed our mission by completing this testing station and left. Pineapples then took me back to Derek so I could hand in this mission. And by handing this mission in, we had now learnt the planetologist skill tree. A lot of these skills are very valuable. Some can help you explore, some can help you gather more resources, and others like the mechanic can help you make your vehicles more efficient. We are only moments away from moving on from our first location. I just need to whip up some of this copper ingots so that I can make my very own sand bike. It's a little bit of a process, but it's going to be well worth it. I want to check out this dispenser thing. Come on, bro, that's cool as fuck. We sometimes need to spend quite a lot of time waiting for things to process, like ingots and water. So whilst I waited, I went out and farmed some more materials. Might as well keep ourselves a little bit busy in the name of progress. Our blood purifier was now full of water. Now we can be well hydrated. Day 6, I made this small chemical refinery so I could make some fuel for my brand new sand bike. Now, if you're wondering what the trooper quest is, well, I'll show you. Basically, I have to go around to a few of these caves and kill certain enemies. Having the sand bike obviously makes this a lot easier. Another one down. Another one bites the dust. Ew. All of these enemies are quite simple to take down, but once we finally complete this quest line, we got to head back to the trading post, which is also named Griffin's Outreach, and we hand the quest into this gentleman right here, and we have now quite simply unlocked the Trooper class set. I then wanted to go speak to the Ornithopter pilot and check out some of these social hubs. Oh, this is sick! Arakeen is like the social hub that belongs to the Atreides. These social hubs are connected to the entire world. Once we land, we introduce ourselves to all the traders and see exactly what they can sell. I then inspect the map to see exactly what else is around. Exploring Arakeen was quite interesting. Ah, it's the Halo guy, Master Chief. In previous playtests, I had never seen this. This was my first experience. But there was also quite a cool surprise here as well. Oh, over here! Chat. You see, I flew to Norway earlier this year to check this game out. But whilst I was there, a big group of us got to record some stuff. That's me! That's me! Listen. You can't tell it's me, really. I recorded this. That's me! I did the boo! That's crazy. I'm in a game, chat. These protesters right here are a group of us just yelling. This was us. Quite a cool moment for me. There was also a bunch of other creators that have actual lines in this game. Some I'll show you throughout this video. But for now, I want to go check out Harko Village, the Harkonnen social hub. Oh, you are ugly. This place certainly gives off evil vibes. In terms of traders and everything, it offers the same stuff that Arakeen does. It just looks different, obviously. Anyways, we flew back to the Haga Basin, which is the main map of the game, and continued north to our next destination. We had to try our best to safely cross this large patch of sand and avoid the sandworms while getting here. Where is this bastard?
Right.
All right, he's coming for me, but I'll be fine. Once we arrived deep into the next zone, this is like the tier 2 zone, we went into another cutscene. This cutscene right here signifies the end of the game holding your hand. You are now left to your own devices. It was now our time to officially forge our very own destiny in Dune Awakening. Our next step in progression is to set up another base, and our mission requires us to abandon our previous base. So say goodbye to that one. This particular base that I'm building right now is for all of our guildies. Pineapples put down a blueprint that he had previously made, so we're going to roll with that for now. If you build a whole base, you can blueprint it and move it around the entire map if you desire. Obviously, you just need the resources to fill it up. Only thing is, his previous base was quite small, and we're going to need a big one if we want all of our guildies to live here. I soon realized that this base is quite dark, even though quite large. Thankfully, we had some lights on hand to illuminate our base. The final little touch of our base was obviously the generator and all of our crafting benches. Since there's going to be a few of us living here, we're going to need a lot more storage. The very next day, we went to check out this enemy encampment. I had a new Bene Gesserit ability I wanted to try out. It's supposed to make the enemy come to you, but I wasn't in range these times. I soon come to realize that these enemies are a lot tougher than the previous area. Oh, shit. No good. No good. No good. No good. Remember? Yeah, I'm down. I died. My first death in this playthrough. Learned a valuable lesson in that one. Once I returned the second time, I wasn't alone. Johnny was with us. I managed to get my stuff back as well. Shay had also joined us, so clearing this encampment became significantly easier than it was earlier. We managed to get a ton of loot and also this thing. This is intel points that you can use to research different crafting recipes. Next, I went to scan this new resource. This is iron, the next tier resource that wasn't in the previous area, but you can find in this one. And obviously a resource that we're going to need in order to progress through different tiers of items. I then went to head over to the next next trade outpost and almost got taken out by our good old penile friend. I just saw the sand like move right in front of my face. Oh, he's coming. It's on me. I'm good. This next trade post is called the Anvil. Once we arrived in, we went into a different cutscene where we saw two different people arguing. One man with his donkey friend and this guy with the 90s boy band haircut. These two gentlemen are representatives of the House of Harkonnen and the House of Atreides. Two warring factions that you need to side with eventually through your playthrough. Our guild, House Dodo, will definitely side with one of them. Which one? We'll soon find out. Also, this area of the map, the sandworms are way more dangerous and way more aggressive. I was exploring around on my sandbike and then I got shone a light on. No, I wasn't in a rave. I was getting chased down by the Sardaukar. These guys are kind of like the police of the Haga Basin. If they track you down, they can stop you and send some troops in to try and kill you. I got away. Luckily, this time we managed to escape, which is good because we were on to our next mission, the second trial of Aquil. Another one of these ancient temples where we need to go sniff some spice. We went through another one of these cutscenes and another one of these trippy dreams. This particular trial, we were given a weapon to test out. We had to put out some of these flames, disable some of these toxic mines, and successfully parkour over these floating rocks. Oh, I just died again. I failed. Finishing this trial, we had unlocked a new crafting recipe. We also unlocked a few achievements as well. Bro, we just smashed a bunch of I just did 5 Steam achievements. The recipe we unlocked was for the static compactor. It's a tool you need to be able to harvest flower sand and spice. If you know Dune lore, spice is probably the most valuable resource. We had gained a bunch of intel points from doing some questing and killing a bunch of enemies. So much so that I could now craft up a new set of armor. I chose to make some of this heavy armor because I don't like to die. And I suck at games. I like extra protection. There's also light armor as well, but I kind of prefer this. Day 9 with our fresh new armor set, I went back to go fight these guys at this encampment. We didn't die as easy this time, which is always a good thing. What the f? I just got downed bad. I managed to self-revive, so that doesn't count as a death. Pineapples also came to help me. We then went around to all the other local encampments to try and clear them. At this point, Johnny refused to wear a shirt. Were you running around with no shirt on, Johnny? Like, intentionally?
Well, not intentionally. I couldn't craft a shirt yet, but at the same time, I do look menacing.
Yes, very menacing indeed. Not sure if he's overconfident or if he's just stuck on the aesthetics. Either way, we managed to defeat a bunch of these enemies and clear out a bunch of camps, gain a bunch of loot and intel. I had also made myself a static compactor by this time, so I wanted to go and try and farm some of this flower sand. The thing is, it's right in the middle of the desert where we can get attacked by a sandworm at any time.
Oh, shit, run.
I know. Which way is closest? I couldn't even pick it up because my freaking inventory's full. Managed to escape this time. So instead of farming flower sand, we went over to this wrecked ship. This is a complete PvP zone, but at this point in time, it was quite empty. We got this fancy wristband that would give us access to the place and entered where I found a shirtless pale man, aka Johnny. These wrecked ships tend to have some pretty decent loot inside, but it also comes at a risk of getting killed by other players. What we didn't account for was the Sardaukar grabbing us. Oh shit, the freaking Popo are here. They got me.
Oh, they got me too.
Shit.
They're gonna come down and fight us.
Rally.
They're over here.
I'm going back inside. See you later.
Johnny bailed and just left me to these guys. They were extremely tough, so I ran as well. Johnny then came back to fight, so I turned around and joined back in. I'd managed to pick up a Holtzman shield. That's that blue glowing thing around me. This stops anybody shooting me from being able to do any damage. That's why melee combat in this game is very important, because melee combat is the only way that you can break through shields. Now, you can break through shields if you have a really strong gun, but you tend to not have one on hand. As we left the ship, we saw a crash ship in the distance. Crash ships will rarely appear in this game, but if you manage to loot them, you're going to get some really good gear. They also attract the sandworm, which makes getting to them quite difficult. Bro, I'm doing like head spins. After doing some crazy head spins, we died to Shai Halud. I can't even exit. No, I'm dead, bro. I'm dead. Bro, that's cooked. That's cooked. Dying to the sandworm is one of the very few ways that you can lose absolutely everything in game. But the first time you die to Shai Halud, this ghost man right here, he then gives you a little starter kit to get you back on your feet. It's just a basic sand bike, but hey, it's free and I'll take it. Now to just cross this little patch of sand so we can get back to our base safely. Hopefully I don't die again. That would be very bad. We made it back to our base completely butt naked, and we didn't have enough resources to make more armor. But I did have enough to be able to make the few basic things I could get, so I could go and get myself some armor. I did manage to find some pants around the base. We used that to go out and get some stuff. I could also harvest water with a thing called the Dew Reaper. This thing's a game changer. You harvest a whole bunch, but the catch is you can only harvest it from these places only during the nighttime. During the day, you couldn't collect any. But with that water, I could bring it back to these storage containers and fill it up. We need a ton of water so we can craft things. Water is probably the most essential resource in the entire game and becomes our biggest bottleneck the entire time as well. We struggle to collect water a lot. But after not too long, I was able to make myself another set of armor. Day 11, I crafted up a static compactor so I could go back out to the flower sand and collect some flower sand.
Aaron, you gotta go.
I know. Where's it coming from? Who's at the shipwreck?
Johnny.
Is that you?
Oh,
It's you. Oh, there's a guy pulling up with me. I'm going to drop him, and I'm shooting him. He's like, it's not doing anything.
Whilst waiting for the sandworm to go away, we went into the shipwreck and looted it up. Because this is a PvP zone, you can only loot once. When you're in every other PvE zone, you can loot multiple times if there's multiple people. Once the sandworm had gone away, we went back to the flower sand. We really need some of this stuff. I shit myself and run. That's what I do. Get on the bike! Get on the bike! Look at him. Look at that little plume.
Little plume? Dude, what do you mean?
I attempted this multiple times, but this sandworm was not letting us go. I think I pushed my luck.
Nah, you're right.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm right. I'm good.
Yeah, it takes a while for them to come back up and try to eat you.
The sandworm was giving us too much grief, so it's on to the next task. I needed to scale this mountain to survey the area so I could unlock this part of the map. But I'm a little bit of an idiot and I made a mistake. Oh no. Oh, I'm fucked.
You're gonna fall to your death. Oh my god.
I never would have thought in my life that climbing a mountain was going to be this difficult. I mean, in real life, yes, but in a game, no. Like, we managed to get high enough to be able to survey the area finally, but this was a difficult task.
Blueprint.
All right, let's see what happens if I just fall to my death. Day 12, we placed down this large contraption inside our base. This is the improved blood purifier. It holds way more blood and purifies it a lot quicker. With that being said, we should now go and collect a whole bunch of blood. I'm not alone here, so I'm quite confident. Oh shit. I'm in a sticky situation. I can't do nothing.
I will save you.
Will you?
Oh, no way.
He killed me. Johnny did not save me. I managed to get my stuff back, which is fine. It wasn't very much loot, but it was something. Then we could get back to sticking needles up people's butts. I then went back to base and made sure to stock up on some heal kits. Looks like I'm going to need it. Next, I jumped on the back of Pineapple's bike and we went and did another mission. Along the way, we passed this ominous fortification. It was quite scary. What is that? I wonder if that's a safe zone. This next mission requires us to complete this testing station. We came here with a full squad, so hopefully this would be easier. And honestly, doing this as a group, it was a lot easier.
Get it over. What have you got?
Johnny was trying to rob another player that was also running this testing lab. He can be quite the menace. Sometimes these testing stations can take quite a bit of time to get through, but they're definitely worthwhile. You do get insane loot from them. We eventually made it to the final room, which had a boss type enemy, and 4 of us took her down rather quickly. Yeah, take that, bitch. Take that. Oh, you can't teabag good. Trying to teabag it. Trying to teabag him. I'm sitting in... After defeating the final boss, we would go up to this container, which would hold the best loot. Purple items are considered unique items, which can be pretty damn rare. Now the trick is, can we get all of this loot home without getting eaten by a sandworm? First, we had to stop off at the Amble trading post so we could hand in the quest and gain our rewards. Then we bolted all the way back to base and stored all of the loot that we gained from the testing station. Our next set of goals, me and Johnny jumped on the back of our sand bikes and started heading back down south. Along the way, we saw a big worm pretending that it was Free Willy. Right now, our goal was to go around all of Haga Basin South and collect intel. In order for us to be able to progress, I need a bunch of intel so I can research some more recipes and unlock them. I wonder if we get the same, like a lot of intel. Oh, here's intel. How many do we get? 3. Okay, so you get 3 from this area, 5 from the other. Day 14, and we're still on the hunt for intel. Oh, motherfucker. I didn't realize that was Johnny. Found the intel. Oh, I found the intel. Ah, sick. Yeah, got it. We managed to get quite a little bit, but we also managed to get a bunch of decent loot as well. Came back to base to deposit it, and with the 30 intel points that I had gathered, I unlocked a bunch of things in the name of progress. Now our goal was to head around the East Vermilion Gap and then get all the intel points there. I did make this unique item, the pseudo pulse sword. It's a lot stronger than the current one we have. I've gone from a little dagger to a strong ass sword, which pairs quite nicely with my new Jesuit ability. I can teleport behind players and kill them. it's extremely fascinating to do. After collecting some more intel points, I came back to base, unlocked a new power generator, which we need to be able to power all of our electronic goods that we have. Then I crafted this Mark II cut array. Day 16 and curiosity finally got the better of me. That large ominous building that we saw in the north earlier, I wanted to go check it out. There was also a whole bunch of crashed vehicles here that we could loot. Uncharted territory for me too. I'm like right next to one of those big ass base things, and it does look, what'd you call it?
Oppressive.
I was prepared and ready to fight, and then I made my approach. This is Harkonnen style stuff. Zone change? What do you mean? It's a PvP area? Oh no, it's peaceful area. Oh yeah, this is a Harkonnen outpost. I then went and spoke to this gentleman, the Harkonnen balding Asian Russian guy. Very confusing to an earthling like me. Visually, this place is crazy. Moving on, I went and explored the local area around here. We found the Jabal Ifrit al-Janoub and the Haga Rift. I wish all the names were a little bit easier like this. Holy crap, just found some mad dead bodies just chilling on the ground. And I didn't do it. I ventured on further into the Haga Rift. The further we got, the darker it got as well. And it was here that we discovered a new resource. This is carbon ore, a resource we need to be able to make steel, which is the next resource we need to be able to make some of the next tier items. Since this was a ways away, I stocked up until my inventory was full and brought it all the way back to base. Day 17, we've progressed far enough into the game that it's probably time that we need to choose a faction to side with. Okay, see, like Atreides have some stuff. They've got arsenal. They've got some stuff happening over here. Cool little lights. You guys have a donkey and you want us to join your side? Even though Mr. Maxim Kazmir here is just chilling out with a donkey, we decided to side with the Harkonnen faction. His questline is quite evil, which is quite fun too. Ah, so we've got to be a spy for the Harkonnen. Yes, so basically he wants us to do the Atreides mission right here, where we are required to try and find an Atreides spy. Oh, a lot of blood up here. We managed to find the spy, but it looked like he had seen better days. Now, instead of giving that intel to the Atreides, we gave it to the Harkonnen instead. Now, just because we did that one quest doesn't mean we are fully aligned with the Harkonnen yet. There's a whole quest line you have to do before you can be Harkonnen. Oh, it looks like we got to do like a whole bunch of stuff before we're actually like considered Harkonnen. Like you have to prove yourself. Before doing exactly that, we came back to base and made this survival crafting machine. This is where we realized our generator had maxed out and we had depleted all of our power source. It's okay though, all I had to do was just turn off some of the other crafting machines and we could continue using this thing. Basically, this is a crafting bench that crafts survival items, med kits, tools for your items, blood packs, a lot of things. I had also unlocked the terrarium of Moadib. It's where you house a little Jaboa looking thing. Day 18, Johnny jumped on my rear and started bouncing up and down. After having that completely consensual fun, we started heading out to the sand dunes. Once again, to hunt down some enemy encampments, to get our hands on their juicy loot, and the oh so important intel. We spent basically the whole day doing exactly this. Day 19, I discovered I could customize some of my gear. You can collect these different swatches by doing a bunch of different things. Twitch drops, buying the extra packages, DLCs, and even some Lansrad missions. Like this Sardaukar body armor is pretty cool, and you can color it. I'd like to unlock a bunch of these eventually. Then together, we went over to try and do the third trial of Aquil. All the trial points of interest always look the same, typically. They're old Fremen ancient ruin type things. This particular one was full of enemies, but it also didn't have any of the sniffy spice stuff, so I guess we have to head over to the fourth trial. We began running our way over, but then we got notified that a sandstorm was rolling in. We needed to try and find cover really quick.
I'm sure there'll be somewhere in here we can take shelter.
Yeah, oh shit, the bike.
The bike won't break.
Over here, 100%. We made our way underneath whatever the hell this is, and looking at this symbol here, it is enclosed, which means we should be safe from the sandstorm. Now we just have to wait it out. You see, if we get stuck in this, it will do damage to us and slow us down. But what's worse, it can damage your vehicle quite a bit. Just watching on the map, wow, it's covering the whole thing. Oh, it's a big one. We had made our way quite a bit north and decided to climb this big ass rock so we could survey the area. All right, what did we unlock? Oh, okay. Oh, I got to plant evidence right next to us. With a contract nearby, we decided to head on over to it to try and complete it. But along the way, this happened. I would love to know how to get up. No!
Oh! What's that mean? Do we have to get off?
I don't know. I've never experienced this before.
I'm going. I'm running. See you later. Just jump. Run.
I'm trying.
Use your grapple thing. To the wall.
It's not letting me. No.
Holy shit.
Holy shit, that was scary.
Bye, bike.
What the fuck? We lost our only mode of transport and we're quite a ways away from base. So I guess we're running it on foot. We did make it to this next trade outpost. This is called Pinnacle Station. All we needed was a little bit of money and we could get an Ornithopter back to Anvil Station and then walk back to base. I completed a contract and got a little bit of money, but I'm not sure if it was enough. We did discover that there's a Swordmaster trainer here. Wait, are you Yes, we got another... Who is this guy? Swordmaster, yes! Now, we didn't have quite enough money to be able to travel back to Anvil Station, but when we looked into the sand bike hangar, we discovered I could claim this bike. We can! I just claimed a bike. Sometimes random bikes will spawn at some of the stations and you can claim them and you can get back to base. This is a handy thing to have, and you'll soon find out we're gonna need it. Johnny jumped on the back and then we headed on off to try and complete another contract. It was just a little bit to the west of us. It was up right here, and this is Atreides outpost. This place is clearly a lot more peaceful than the Harkonnen place, and the contract we needed to complete was to be able to deposit a falsified log in this box right here. This contract was for the Harkonnen missions. Once we placed that item in, we then went on our ways and explored a large part of this map. And if we saw a high enough mountain peak, we would obviously climb it so we could survey the area. This one unlocked the entire Haga Rift, but missed the whole area. Oh, and you'll never believe what happened again.
Quicksand, left, 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 left.
Oh,
Left.
again. Well. Oh, man. Oh, dude. It's going. Oh, there goes another goddamn bike. I didn't even hear what you're saying. I was like, what's he yelling about? With another sand bike eaten by the sand, we're now on foot trying to get back to base. Fortunately, we had a contract that was nearby anyways, so we went to try and complete it. We then ran into another player in this POI.
Who the hell is this?
Where?
Tiny. Is it?
I can't hear shit till this shit.
I've rewound that a couple of times. I have no idea what he said. Anyways, we have to try and find our way safely across this stretch of desert. I did see that I had an abandoned sand bike nearby, but there was some quicksand blocking our way. I think I can bring a bike back. I'm gonna gun it. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I just heard a freaking sand where.
He's miles away. Don't worry about him.
Okay, I trust you.
No, I don't know.
I had a sandbag right here that I had claimed earlier. Quickly jumped on it and then escaped. This bike would definitely get us back to base safely. There's no quicksand here, right? They're just thumper sand. Pretty sure. But I hope so. We should go to the Haga Rift, honestly. No, that's quicksand! No, that's quicksand!
No! For serious?
My bad. That's 3 bikes. 3 bikes gone in one trip.
No way.
Looking back at this now, with everything that I know now, I know you're going to roast me in the comment section, and I deserve it. Thanks to my Bene Gesserit ability, I was able to get across the sand. Johnny doesn't have this ability, but he was able to make it across safely. Now we just have to have the long, strenuous task of walking back to base. We safely made it back to the Anvil, which is a good sign, I guess. And we could hand in the Harkonnen contract. There was a free sand bike at Anvil. Hopefully I don't lose this to any quicksand, but after that one little crazy adventure, we finally made it back to base. Next, I wanted to make this vehicle fabricator, so we can obviously fabricate some vehicles. Problem is, we couldn't place it down anywhere. Our roof was too low, so I pulled down a section of it and then extended it up a little bit. Closed it in, and now this vehicle fabricator would fit nicely. We got the vehicle fabricator so we could eventually make a buggy. Next, we had to venture all the way back to the Haga Rift. Johnny wouldn't let me drive sandbikes anymore, so he's driving. Now, we've come down to the Haga Rift not only just to explore it, but also try and get our hands on a new resource. We struggled to find this particular resource for a little while, but eventually we found it. I mean, you can't miss it. This is Ethereurite crystal, the resource you need to be able to make cobalt paste that we need to be able to progress even further. And as far as I currently know, you can only find it in the Haga Rift. We had no plans of leaving this place until our inventories were full of this stuff. Of course, there were a few enemies protecting this valuable resource. We spent most of the stages harvesting this stuff and explored the Haga Rift a little bit further, up until our inventory was full and started heading home. Early morning of day 24, I collected a bunch of dew water, filled up our water storage containers full of the water that we collected, and then began scaling this mountain in the attempt to try and find the 4th trial. This 4th trial did have some spice in it. Oh, what the hell? It's got my freaking helmet on in this cutscene. How you sniffing that, bro? You got a helmet on. This next spy stream was quite an interesting one. We were given the famous Chris knife from the movie and had to fight some sand ghosts. They absolutely kicked my butt. I died, bro. Oh, maybe I'm meant to die. Oh, I am. Oh, you're supposed to die. Oh my god. Yep. We're getting our spice powers now. Yes, we have now unlocked our spice powers. Yo. Yep, we're getting our spice powers now, chat. This ability amplifies your current abilities, but it doesn't last forever. And to replenish the ability meter, you need to eat spice-filled food. I don't use my spice abilities too much throughout this playthrough, even though sometimes I probably should, but this is still also important because you then unlock your 3rd ability slot. Day 25, we began the process of making our very first buggy and began putting it all together. It's quite expensive and requires a bunch of cobalt paste, and to make cobalt paste, we need Ethereurite. We currently don't have enough of it right now, even though we gathered a lot, so we had to travel back to the hangar to collect some more. Day 26, we farmed up a whole bunch more of this Ethereite, then stopped over at the Harkonnen. Then we stopped over at the Harkonnen outpost called Riftwatch. A sandstorm was rolling through, so we needed some cover. You're outside in the sandstorm.
I'm good.
It passed pretty quickly, so we were safe. Day 27, and I made myself the Mark III cut array. Not only does this harvest resources more efficiently, but now we can harvest basalt and aluminium. We had also completed the build for our buggy. The buggy can hold up to 4 players at a time. Now that we have the buggy, we want to start working towards getting ourselves an Ornithopter and hitting them skies. Johnny was pretty close to being able to research it, so we decided to go and get him some intel so we can obviously unlock it. It's not a known intel point, but you can farm a lot of experience points from coming over to these wrecks. So we worked our way through this place, killing a bunch of the enemies and getting our hands on the juicy loot. Day 28, we spent most of the day just farming intel points. In this part of the map, we get 10 intel points per intel. Ah, you bum. You got me. The loot is pretty damn good too. We've been learning some pretty valuable lessons. You see, Johnny picked up a buggy inside this place. You could claim it. And as I was researching some things with my new intel points, Johnny said this.
I may have f***ed up.
Why?
I can't get out of this buggy now, and it's stuck on the fence.
This buggy was properly stuck. That's what you get for stealing someone else's buggy, Johnny. He'd been giving me quite a hard time for losing 3 sand bikes in a row. Now it's your time, mate. In the end, we just dismantled it, jumped in our current buggy, and went on our ways. We also learned what to look out for when there's quicksand around. You see this mist on top of the sand? That's typically quicksand.
Right. Right. All right, yeah, left.
As you can tell, Johnny was quite paranoid of my driving. Day 29, and because we'd had a pretty successful farming run, we could now place down this wind trap, which passively generates water for our base, but it also uses a lot of electricity. So I placed down 2 of these wind turbines that generate a ton of electricity. I then flew my way over to Harko village. I was curious and wanted to go explore this place. I went over to the Chome exchange and went and spoke to the banker. I deposited a little bit of money that I'd had. Then I wanted to go check out the exchange. This works kind of like an auction house, where other players can trade some of their goods for Solaris. Finally, we came over to the Imperial Consulate. It's here that we had to speak to this balding lady so we could pay our taxes. Yes, even in this digital landscape, you've got to pay your taxes. Our taxes were quite cheap at this moment, and I had the money on me, so I paid it. I just paid our tax. Day 30, we scaled the side of this mountain. It was a little bit easier now that we had different abilities like the Shiga Wire and extra climbing stamina. We're climbing this so we can survey the area. I originally wanted to hold out until we had an Ornithopter because it would have been way easier, but we're struggling to find certain resources, and hopefully surveying it will help us. Since we surveyed the area, we found some aluminium, and we need this so we can make our first Ornithopter. I filled up my inventory and the inventory on the back of our bike so I could hike this all the way back to base. Whilst I was sleeping IRL, some of the guildies had made this bad boy. It's a medium ore refiner. It's what you need to be able to smelt down aluminium ingots. I then went back to Anvil to go and see our bald Harkonnen friend, and I thought we were going to be Harkonnen by now, but we're not. We still need to fulfill more contracts for this man. Anyways, we fast traveled over to Pinnacle. Yes, you can speak to the Ornithopter pilot right here in Anvil, and she can travel you all the way over to Pinnacle Station. I had to do another aluminium run. We need a whole lot if we want to get this Ornithopter in the skies. Day 31, and a crash ship fell out of the sky right near our base. Of course, I took this opportunity to try and get all the loot. I didn't get a chance to stick around for too long though, since the sandworm was coming. Day 32, I realized a lot of the places that we've been going have been quite dark, so I crafted up this personal light to try and help us navigate around the areas. I then jumped on the back of Johnny's bike, and we came over to try and complete another testing station. We also came over here to see our good friend Derek, the planetologist trainer. If we then complete this mission for him, he will teach us the advanced skills of planetology. He wants us to get through this testing station and go and find something for him. He's too scared to do it himself. Like I mentioned earlier, completing these testing stations in a group makes things a lot easier. There's the mission. We had found the item for Derek, but this place wasn't finished just yet. There were still some more enemies to defeat, which included a flamethrower guy.
What?
Derek was happy that we were able to get the stuff for him, but he wouldn't teach us anything just yet. We had to go meet him back in the South Harger Basin.
Oh, wait, really?
He's like, I'm not going to teach you here because I'm scared.
Before going back to see our boy Derek, we went and stopped at this other testing station. On the trip there, though, I had unlocked the Ornithopter. Well, I unlocked the capability to be able to unlock it. I need more intel points before I can actually unlock it properly. But this testing station, we should get enough experience points that I could unlock it. I had to complete this for the Harkonnen quest line. I had to find some counterfeit forged documents. Once we finished the testing station, we made our way back, but we stopped to get some intel along the way. I couldn't decide what to spend my points on at this time. There's no point me unlocking the Ornithopter if Johnny can do it already. He can craft it for us. I then went to Anvil so I could hand in this quest to our good old friend, Maxim Casimir. He wants us to go and blackmail this man right here. The dialogue here is actually quite interesting. I don't like story games, but this stuff is really fun. I don't want to spoil it too much because I want you to experience it for yourself. But now we have officially aligned ourselves with the Harkonnen faction. Yeah!
those documents just in case you have a change.
House Harkonnen, bitches. Now that I'm aligned with Team Harkonnen, it's time to align our guild to the Harkonnen as well. There are a few other guilds on the server that have already aligned with the Atreides, and it seems like there's a mega guild as well. Harkonnen is very outnumbered on this server. Hopefully we can change this. We're not going to be very helpful in this Lansrad until we progress a little further. But since I have aligned with the Harkonnen, I went over to Harko Village and spoke to the Harkonnen vendor so that I could unlock some skins. We're only a level 1 reputation with Harkonnen right now, so we're going to have to level up and do some more quests for the Harkonnens. Again, at this point in time, I don't feel like we had advanced far enough that we can actually do anything that's helpful. We really need an Ornithopter. So we're back out here farming aluminium. I managed to pick up a blueprint for a unique blood bag that stores all of our blood and a unique dew harvester. Water is always the biggest struggle in this game. I mean, it makes sense. We are on a desert planet. Day 35, I colored our buggy in Harkonnen colors, and then we drove down to Derek the planetologist to go and unlock the advanced skill sets. With enough skill points, we could upgrade these and gather more resources. I went to go quickly harvest some dew in the local vicinity, and this happened.
Oh no.
What'd you do? Wait, where are you? Oh my lord. Another buggy bites the dust. I can't be trusted with sand bikes, and Johnny can't be trusted with buggies. So that we could get back to base, we hiked it all the way back to Griffin's Reach and got the Ornithopter pilot to fly us back to the Anvil. Day 36, we started making some alterations to another buggy that we had back at base. This is an expensive buggy, bro, so you gotta drive careful.
It's like, okay, I drive and you're stuck on saying, you drive a gun in the sand. Like, we need another driver.
With this buggy, we place a cut array on top and a storage at the back. This makes harvesting resources significantly easier, and we can gather a whole lot more. Whilst we were on our way to harvest some resources, we stopped at this base because they made a rather creative build.
As his favorite thing in the world. You all know it. Check out his previous videos if you don't believe me.
I saw that. That was funny as fuck. Our plan was to harvest some Ethereorite in the Haga Rift, but we also noticed in this area was another one of the trials that we needed to go and complete. So we figured we'd stop here and complete it, I guess. This trial, we had to practice some of our parkour skills and avoid getting eaten by a ghost sandworm. It wasn't a really difficult task, but it took us a little while to figure out exactly what we needed to do. We have now completed the 5th trial of Aquil, and with this, we have now unlocked the Thumper. I think. We found ourselves in a different part of the map that I haven't surveyed yet. Tried to find the highest peak in this area, climb it all the way up to the top, only to find out we weren't high enough. Wait, let me do it.
I don't know.
21. I'm at the top of this one and I'm 21 meters too short. I really wanted to survey this area. That was my goal. So we kept exploring until we could find an even higher peak. We found this enemy encampment and we started clearing this out. It seems like it's at the bottom of the highest peak anyway, so it's a 2-for-1. We could get some decent loot, some great experience, and once finished, we could just climb the mountain behind it until we got to a high enough peak that we could survey the area. When we surveyed the area, we found out that there was another trial nearby. This trial was a little bit more morbid than the previous ones. I can always appreciate a good decoration, but this is a little bit crazy. Oh, this is one of those. Yeah, it's like the other one. No stiffy spice for us this time. It wasn't until the early morning of the following day that we actually started mining some resources with our new fun tools, particularly trying to get our hands on this aluminium. Doesn't mind that.
No way.
It's okay. We can mine on hand and still just deposit. Turns out our buggy wasn't strong enough to be able to mine aluminum. It's quite inconvenient, but it is what it is. We could still use the buggy's inventory space and fill that up, so this wasn't all for nothing. To be able to make the Ornithopter, we also need diamondite dust. And when looking on the map, we found out that there's a place right here that we can get it. It's an enemy encampment, but unfortunately, we can't enter it. I then thought maybe it's at the peak of the mountain. Considering I thought it might be at the top of the mountain, we started scaling this thing. This mountaintop was really damn high, and it took us a long time to get up there. Finally made it to the top, found a dead body just chilling and some juicy loot. We came all this way, but there was no diamondite dust. So we decided to just return back to base with everything that we had. Day 40, we returned back to base and I picked up this unique schematic, getting ourselves a really powerful gun. After a little bit of research, we found out a place to be able to get some diamondite dust, but we have to travel to some uncharted territory. It was towards the northeast of the map, so of course I had to survey it to try and unlock it. Once unlocked, we discovered that there was another trade outpost here. This trade outpost was called the Crossroads. The trader here had a lot of endgame items that we could buy, so it was good to take note of this place. And she also sells diamondite dust. It's just hella expensive. Anyways, the location we could find diamondite dust was through this broken wall. I also had a contract here that I could fulfill, so this was a 2-in-1 special. The enemies here were certainly a lot different and quite strong. What do they drop? Ooh, what's this? Sand trout leathers. We took our time clearing this place out. Well, me and Johnny did. Flurry decided to charge straight in, and he was getting his butt kicked.
Big floaty red head in the sky. Oh shit.
Fucking hell, bro.
Did you die? You
People did.
died. These guys were a very creepy cult-like people. We then traveled through this pentashield, took out some more people, used this cutter ray to gain access to another room. Whoa, that's a long-ass hallway. Wait, where'd you guys go? Which I did not want to enter. We then gained access to the loot room where we finally found the diamondite dust. 20! Oh yeah, let's go. Day 41 and we made it outside the other end of this place. We're now entering like a totally different zone. Masquerade. Oh, I'm scared, bro. I'm scared to leave. Yeah, this is... Okay, we can get back in though. We can. There was a bunch of water here, and after that little expedition, I needed to quench my thirst. Of course, I had to try and find the peak of this mountain so that I could survey it. I made a mistake though. You'll probably be able to get up here from traveling through the north. Survey... No! Ah, I'm a dickhead. I moved out of the survey area. Second time I attempted this, I made sure to stand still. There we go. We got the Udam. We then had to run our way back through the cultist area where all the enemies had respawned. We then made it back to our buggy, stopped over at the crossroads so I could buy some stuff, mainly just these industrial pumps. We also need these so we can make the Ornithopter. We then began racing back to base so we could start crafting up the Ornithopter. All right, now Ornithopter. So I'll make the hull, the chassis, the cockpit, the engine. This was certainly quite an exciting experience. What's happening? Oh shit. We have now officially hit the skies, which really opens up this game, especially in a big map size like this. This will make completing a bunch of missions so much quicker and easier. We also found a way to have some fun with some of our friends.
If that works, that's so broken.
It works.
You don't need a two-seater aircraft to get people around the map. No, not at all. Shit. Need to put the Ornithopter away. Where's the thingy? Where's the thingy? Where's the thingy? Where's the tool? Oh my god, where's the fucking tool? Our Ornithopter can't fit inside our safe base, and it's outside currently. So if it gets caught in the sandstorm, it's going to get wrecked. Why is this not working? Why is it not working? Vehicle's out of range. What do you mean it's out of range? Why is this not working? Finally, bro. That was so dumb.
I thought you might be stressing a bit over it.
I don't want to ruin this thing. It took us so long to make. With the sandstorm now past, it was now time to go and explore the rest of this map. Discover things from places I've never seen before. But also, we wanted to move out of the Eastern Vermilion Gap. It was getting a little bit crowded down there, and the fight for resources was getting real. I found this plateau right here, a little bit north of us, quite close to Pinnacle Station and the Haga Rift. Location-wise, I think this would be perfect for where we're at in the game, and this should be our forever base location. But first, I had to fly outside of the map, straight through this shield wall. Why did I do that exactly? Well, so we could enter the overland map. It's from here we could travel to all the different social hubs and the big bad PvP area, the deep desert, which is exactly where I wanted to go. Going to the deep desert, chat. Let's go. The first area that you spawn in at is a PvE area. Yeah, that's the deep desert. Like as soon as I cross this thing, it should flag me for PvP. Yeah, zone change. There we are. We are now in PvP. I was extremely scared, but it was pretty early in the game's release and we had been rushing to get to this point. So in terms of players, there weren't many people in the deep desert at all anyway. I managed to find a wrecked ship and some weird glowing balls. Oh, that's a hold point. You gotta hold them for like X amount of time. Oh, we gain control. We gain control. What does that mean?
Yeah, just sit until you get it and then run away.
I am. House to see that we're gaining control. We're gaining control. I'm so scared, bro. Controlled! Harkonnen, let's go! Get your Harkonnen missions done now. We're taking over this shit. We found another control point just on the other side of this wrecked ship. Of course, I had to take control of this one as well. I saw this crashed ship, so obviously I had to try and loot it. I expected that the deep desert had some really good stuff. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, I just got freaking mad as loot. I'm out. I was very, very, very scared. But this was even before the full release, and we got here before a lot of other people did. I decided to leave the deep desert. I wasn't going to play around. I'm not ready for it. We do end up coming back, and it gets pretty intense. But for now, we need to set up our other base and progress ourselves even further. I deposited all of our juicy loot back at base, and went and said hello to our neighbor. He also has an Ornithopter. He had an Ornithopter way before us, and we just wanted to know how he got it so quick. Turns out he's just a crazy grinder. It's been a little while, so the Lansrad had updated. I then checked the Lansrad missions and saw that the control points I controlled were gaining some points. Also, House Dodo was now on the leaderboard. Day 44, I flew over to Griffin's Reach to go meet up with one of my homies. This is Gamer K.
Wait,
Ollie, what you
what
doing?
doing? Your character looks cool.
Your character looks cool.
Hey Aaron, I have to tell you a secret.
Tell me a secret.
I drank my own pee.
I very much enjoy the social interactions you can have in this game. Makes it quite fun. But ultimately, we have a job to do. We need to set up our brand new base. It was dark and kind of hard to see, but we started setting this place up. This base build took us quite a while, and I wanted to test out some of the little pieces that I'd gathered from Twitch drops and having the deluxe edition. I also had to run back and forth from our previous base to grab a bunch of resources that I could travel back to our new base with. Since we had aligned with Harkonnen, I wanted to come to Riftwatch and speak to the Harkonnen vendor to see if I can unlock some Harkonnen cosmetics for our new base. Fun fact, this person right here is voiced by another good friend of mine, Snoopy, whom I met in person in Norway.
Looks like someone's pulled some strings. You here to buy something?
Anyways, we're here to buy some stuff. I spent a ton of money on this, so hopefully it's good. Oh, Harkonnen. No. It requires plastone? So yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to be building a Harkonnen stronghold just yet. We can't make any plastone. We don't have the resources for it. That's fine though. We can still make it out of granite. And once we have the resources, we'll definitely build a beautiful Harkonnen stronghold. Day 46, we continued working on this base. I was really learning a lot about the building system in this game. Had to do quite a few runs back to the old base too. This time we decided to fill up the buggy and head back over to the new base. Along the way, picking up a whole bunch of granite so we could build with it. I also needed to make a staking unit as well. We ran out of space in our subfield here, and a staking unit extends the amount of land you can claim. Once I placed the staking unit down, I had to wait a minute before we could fully claim this land, but once claimed, we can put these stairs that lead down to the ground. This right here was the basic foundation of our build, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it gets a lot bigger. Day 49 and the base of our little guild hall right here is complete. These two places are landing platforms for our Ornithopters. Down below is a garage that we're going to use for all of our buggies and bikes, and the ramp obviously leads up to the base. It's pretty basic for now, but it's practical and it's going to work. Day 50, and since we are now so close to the Haga Rift, myself and Johnny went down to go mine a bunch of Ethereorite crystals. Also took a little bit of time to take down some of the enemies here as well, which was adding to our Lansrad points. You see, some Lansrad missions will open up over time, over the week of the wipe. This particular mission gives us a small amount of points every time we kill a deserter in the PvE zones. So even if you're not interested in any PvP stuff, you can still contribute to the Lansrad missions. So not only were we gathering a lot of Ethereorite crystals, we were also contributing to the Lansrad to help House Dodo stay on top. Day 51, we returned back to our base with all of these resources, and we were unloading our truck the hardest way possible. At this point in time, we had no idea that there was actually a much easier way to do it, which I'll show you how to do eventually. But for now, we're going out to go get some iron and go and quickly run this testing station in the Western Vermilion Gap. We then added 2 of these medium ore refineries so that we could speed up our ore refining capabilities. Day 52 was not a particularly interesting day. We were just harvesting plant fiber, and when the sun went down, we went to go harvest a whole bunch of water. We had gathered a bunch of random loot from farming all of the enemy encampments that we needed to go break it down in this recycler. The resources that we get back are probably going to be more important than these half-broken items. I had also picked up this unique schematic to make this spark sword. This thing's really damn powerful. Whilst I was flying around, I saw this purple splotch in the sand. We had also unlocked the thumper, so I wanted to test this out so I could go and harvest that purple sand. This should distract the sandworm from us and attract it to that instead of us. So with that placed down, I felt somewhat confident. Place the thumper down. Went and started harvesting this purple sand, which is called spice sand. Spice sand is your endgame resource. This little bit that we got now isn't going to do much, and we can't really do anything with it now anyway, but it's good to have on hand. Day 54, in preparation of setting up for the endgame, we're harvesting some more resources. At this point of the game, we need a lot of resources just to be able to progress. Again, we're really struggling to get our hands on water. I'm harvesting it as much as possible. Day 55, and I got trapped in the edge of a storm. Trying to get out of this sandstorm. This is how we crashed in this world to begin with. Once the sandstorm passed, I started heading on south. We were heading to the radiation zone. I'd got my hand on this radiation suit from a loot container earlier. Found the perfect place above this wrecked ship to be able to survey the area, and we unlocked the most barren wasteland of this map. I expected to get some pretty rare loot from this place. Considering it is a PvP zone and a wrecked ship, it should be pretty good. It was quite eerie running through it though. Very, very dark. I was constantly on edge waiting for another player to jump out at me and absolutely murder me. Yeah, you need a torch. You need the personal torch to get through these radiation things. It's so dark. Most of the stuff that we got was pretty standard, except for the irradiated slag. I still don't quite know exactly what we need this for. I'm assuming it's endgame stuff. After exploring through that wrecked ship, it was time to be on our way. I was worried about being in the radiation zone for way too long. We saw this crashed ship and I went to go loot it, but then I heard some eerie noises. Oh shit. Next, we went and stopped at Mr. Kazmir once again, had to hand in one of the contracts, and collect the next one so we could rank up our reputation points for the Harkonnen. Day 56 and my Ornithopter was suffering from a little bit of wear and tear. It needed some repairs. The wings had seen better days. I then went ahead and made the next tier of armor. Well, one piece of it, I couldn't afford the rest. But now I had the Dune heavy chest armor. Hopefully I'll stay a little bit safer out in the desert. Now time for a rather large resource run, particularly aluminium. We had the upgraded buggy now so we could harvest aluminium with this cut array. Day 57, I searched some of the points on this map because there was a resource that I was looking for. Insulated fabric, and it seems like we can only find it from this one POI. In the Udham. It was in this big ass rock. I landed on top and started making my way down. Shot at some of the enemies, and then I ran out of ammunition. That's not a good time to be out of ammo. Guess we're only gonna have to stick to melee combat now. I got hit with poison, but I'm kind of resistant to it thanks to the Bene Gesserit abilities. First loot box we found, we got some insulated fabric. Then we went into this strange cultist room and found the juicy loot, as well as some enemies. These enemies were extremely tough. They knew how to block. Me, not so much. Oh no, not a good time to get freaking down. Get up, get up, get up, get up, you bum. I managed to get away, but then I got chased down, only to get dropped by this kung fu fighter once again. I'm still in love with this one ability, the Bene Gesserit teleport ability. I just push him off the edge and now I can continue on my way looting this room. Oh, got a compactor. And 45 insulated fabric. Yeah, we're good. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly do you need this insulated fabric for? Well, so it's I can make this decalitajon and a large blood sack. This will help me farm a lot of resources a lot more efficiently. I had also made a much better dew harvester. So even at poor harvesting times, we still gather a bunch of water. We've been able to gather a bunch of aluminium, but we run out of lots of water refining the aluminium into ingots. Day 58, I went on a mission to try and recruit another member to our guild. Hello, kind sir. How are we, friend? What's up, bro? This was my homie Zombies LV Bacon. Well, go stand over in the shade. Come over the shade. Hey, so I have come on a mission to see if you would be interested in joining our guild.
I mean, I'm already kind of part of a guild. The Spice Girls.
Spice Girls. That's a good one.
Yeah, let me think about it.
No worries, dude. If you end up getting up to the part where you start doing Lansrad stuff and trying to compete, or even if you don't and you feel like you want to, just let me know, bro. Here, I'll add you, dude.
Yeah, add me.
He didn't choose to join us at this very moment in time, but hopefully we can get some other guild members, like you, the person watching this video. Make sure you hit that link in the description, fill out the application form, and join us. Failed to get another guild member, but hey, maybe we can successfully complete another trial of a quill. This particular trial is where we unlock the Ninja Turtle shell, also known as a still tent. If a sandstorm rolls out, you can just place the still tent down and hide in it at any point, keeping yourself safe. Again, I don't want to spoil too much of the plotline. I want you to see it for yourself. Both me and Johnny completed this together, so we did our cool cinematic walk out. Day 59, and we now have a fair few new members in our guild. We just need everyone to complete their Harkonnen questline so they can contribute to the Lansrad. With Johnny riding shotgun, we went on to go and complete the next and final trial of a quill, which is right in the side of this wall right here. Will we discover all of the secrets of the Fremen now? Will this answer a lot of questions that we have? This mission can only have one person inside it at a time, kind of like a monogamous relationship. So we just have to wait until the person that's currently inside of it finishes. Excuse me, can you please leave or hurry the up? And we do wait quite a while. I then had to figure out a couple puzzles. Thankfully, we already had a guild member that had run this and kind of told us it already. I wanted to run through this as quick as possible because I didn't want to keep Johnny waiting too long. Once we went in, we got approached by this masked stranger, gun to our face and asking a whole bunch of questions. She took her hood off and she was kind of cute, looking deep into my soul with them spicy eyes. Anyway, she ran us through this old Fremen architecture. She was pretty much a tour guide explaining what everything was. She had a ton of information on hand, but she was very unhelpful when it came to puzzles like this. I'm pretty stupid, so this puzzle took us a long time to figure out. But to give you guys a bit of a hint at home, you have to listen to the recording that the guy is saying right there, the yellow dude. He will tell you everything you need to know. But for the lazy people at home that want to know the answer straight away, here it is. Screenshot the video, pause it, do whatever you need to do. We also have all the answers in the guild Discord as well. We then went on to the next task, where we had to line up this circular thing. Then I had to feed my blood into this coffin. Ooh, gross. I didn't give him that much blood. Oh, it's going all the way in. Oh, it's in. It's falling. Oh. That's a lot of blood. That's way more than I thought I gave him. Oh, okay. It's open. Having to give blood just to open a door is some crazy work. You know, after all this time, I had no idea that I had spicy eyes as well. We then entered the final room where we had to fight some enemies. Ooh, the boss fight. Our new friend basically just bailed on us, left us to fight these guys. We had previously progressed quite a bit, so these guys were kind of easy to take down. Just depressing that the hot chick bailed on us. I didn't even get her number. Finally, we left the trial of Aquil. This is not the end of the main storyline. There's still more to complete. Now it's time for Johnny to do his trial. I'm sure he'll be fine. Since completing that last mission, we had unlocked a pretty valuable machine. It's a very morbid machine, but it's very valuable to have. This is the Fremen Death Still. When you kill an enemy, you can take their entire corpse, place it in this Death Still, and it will suck all the water dry. It just uses a ton of electricity when you're using it. Day 61, we did some general maintenance around the base, adding some more water storage and depositing corpses into the Death Still. Takes an hour to process. I'd gained a few skill points from running around and doing things. I don't know exactly what I did, but I got the skills. And a bunch of intel points, so I unlocked the Spice Mask. Went to take a peek at the Lansrad, and House Dodo was still on top. We're on top, but we don't have a lot of voting power, which typically means that people just aren't up to that stage yet. I expect this to change the next Lansrad. Day 62, we flew over to Harko Village once again. We were sent here to complete more of the main quest line. I had a random bat land on my hand, and I was put to sleep by an evil Sardaukar man. We went through a whole bunch of the full story. Basically, these guys are after Zentara, the guy that rescued us from the ship at the start of the game. In my opinion, this whole section was pure cinema. Again, experience it for yourself. There was a really cool moment in that scene, and I don't want to spoil it for you guys. It's not important to this 100 days. Anyways, we went on to meet this lady, Elara Tuek. She calls me Kitten a lot. It's kind of weird. Thankfully, she's a 10 out of 10, so I can let it pass for now. And now we've been given a new quest, the Glutton, which we will get to eventually. But for now, I want to complete some other things. Oh, yeah, mommy. Yes, yeah, get it. Yeah, harder. Oh, but no, you're supposed to take the whip out. It's still rolled up, lady. What are you doing? You're doing it wrong. Day 63, I put on my radiation suit and went back down to the south wastelands of the map. This time, I was on the hunt for another resource that you can only find in this part of the map. Took me a little while to figure out what the resource was because I was way too afraid to get out of my thopter. But once I grew some cojones, I discovered the resource called jasmium. We need this to make duralinium ingots that we need for the next tier of items. I'm currently farming as much as I possibly can. I went in the deep caves of this radiation zone to try and find some more. I was also curious to see what else was lying around here. There's all these like caves here. It's really interesting. And they're all called like named like this. I'm in a place called Wrath. After being here for a while, this symbol indicated that it's probably time for us to leave. So I went back to base and started changing some of it into the Harkonnen stronghold pieces. As members of the Harkonnen faction, you know we have to represent. Day 64, and this is all we've done to the base. I ran out of resources. It requires a different resource called Plastone that we don't currently have a lot of. Our base is fine for now. We have more important things to worry about. We had a mission that sent us to this place in the Haga Rift called the Spiral. It was here that we needed to kill 15 deserters. And no, not the type that eat a lot of ice cream, the type that abandon their families. You know, like certain people's fathers? Looks like the deserters have deserted this facility as well. They weren't around. We found 2 on this heli platform right here, but the actual building itself was completely empty. So we moved on to another location, hoping that any deserter would count as a kill.
After 100 days, we became bloodsuckers.
Vampires, pretty much. It wasn't until day 65 that we found a lone deserter camp. That was it. And completed the mission. We had been gathering a ton of loot from being out and about. And since this was like our main guild hall, other people have been collecting stuff as well. Our progression was really starting to ramp up. I had now unlocked the next tier of items, the duralinium products. I know I'm butchering the way you say that, but that's how I say it, so shut up. I need more intel points before I can actually unlock anything. So to gain some more intel points, I figured we'd just continue some of the Harkonnen missions. Our old mate Dingus Maxim wants us to go to an Imperial testing station. Before completing the next mission, I unlocked a few more things with our intel points and then had a look at some of the Lansrad tasks. Since I had held down one of the control points in the deep desert, I'd gained a ton of points for House to Cedar. With those points, I can get some resources and some Solari, and even unlock a house swatch. Day 67, and some of our boys have been harvesting a lot of the Plastone materials, so I could work on this base. As the leader of this guild, I had to make sure I had a place that I could address my guildies.
God, that's ominous.
Right? After a long grind and a lot of help from the guildies, this is what our base looks like. I'm pretty happy with how it looks now, but I'll tell you this, it does upgrade later. This was the first time properly building in this game, and learning how the building mechanics work was kind of tricky, but we got there. I really feel like we're representing the Harkonnen well. Johnny had been grinding for quite a bit by himself that we could now make this. Oh shit. We now have a multi-seat aircraft carrier, the Assault Ornithopter. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time to play around with it just yet. We went to go complete this contract for the Harkonnen over at the testing station 29. Oh yeah, now we're in. I'll wait at the entrance, do the missions. What do you mean never mind?
Landmine.
Oh, we got pretty damn lucky. We ended up getting through most of this place without having to fight anyone. It's quite common in some of these testing stations to already be pre-cleared out. Also, Ibran Lorraine right here is Johnny's brother. He came for a run as well. We finally managed to get into a fight. This was fun. He was trying to sabotage. I still don't quite know what sabotaging does. Oh, found the stuff. The quest. That stuff for the quest wasn't actually for the quest that we're currently doing. Just so happened to be another quest in this place. Oh, here's the loot room. Oh, I didn't even know what any of this is, but... Oh, found the intelligence. We finished and made our way out of this place, but there was a slight issue. You see, Ibrahim Lorraine hadn't progressed as far as me and Johnny, so he didn't have the same abilities that we had to be able to climb up this mountain. So me and Johnny just made our way up here and waited. Just two guys hanging out. They might kiss.
No, they won't.
It's now day funny number, and we return back to the anvil to go speak to our good friend Maxim the Harkonnen.
Where? Never mind. I have a job for you.
He was acting very weird. He wants us to go find somebody that's hidden in the Haga Rift. Also, the House to Cedar representative was here, so I went and claimed my rewards for winning over some points in the Lansrad. Myself and Johnny flew ourselves over to the Haga Rift, much easier in the Assaultcopter, found the location of this mission where we saw a lady struggling by a campfire. They claimed to be pretty beat up. I don't know how beat up they could be. Their hair is looking still pretty good. Following on from that quest, we need to go over to this wreck, which just so happens to be a PvP area. Me and Johnny had to keep our eye on our back from other players and possibly other NPC enemies. Find the bow of Kadira.
The bow.
We discovered that the bow of this wrecked ship was down in the rift. This is definitely some Titanic vibes happening right now. We managed to complete this quest, then we needed to investigate the storage room. We were looking around this wrecked ship for a while, and I was getting worried that another player would come through.
Here he is.
Found him. Contact issuer. Enter. Done. We had completed this mission finally, but we had to hand in this mission into Riftwatch, where we'd meet a new handler. We don't need to speak to Maxim anymore.
I presume you have a report for me? You are not only out from under Maxim, you now rank above him.
We now rank above Maxim. We are cooler than him. We had increased our reputation with the Harkonnen, so we went to go speak to my friend Snoopy to see what cosmetics we had unlocked for the Harkonnen. I didn't have a lot of money on me currently, so I couldn't buy everything that I had unlocked, but we also need to work our way to level 5 reputation so we can unlock everything for the Harkonnens. Day 70, for a little change of pace, myself and Johnny went back to the deep desert. We only went out on a little scout mission. We just wanted to have a quick look, and we'll probably get out of here quickly. Another Harkonnen guild had taken over my spaces. I didn't have control of House to Cedar anymore. What probably happened is House Atreides had taken over it, and then another Harkonnen guild had come through and taken it back. Weirdly enough, the other one on the other side was House Atreides. As if they didn't try and take that one. Weird. So we went over there to claim it. It was now ours. Also, since there were 2 of us, me and Johnny went to try and clear this wreck. Started shooting some of the enemies, and soon realized these guys were extremely tough. Oh shit, that's bad.
Come back, come back, come back.
Yeah, they're tougher. What the f... We can't fight here, bro. This is just a guy at the front. With our head down and a tail between our legs, we decided to leave. We then found a control point that was controlled by the Atreides. I can't let these punks have this, so I took it. Further exploring the deep desert, we saw a massive spice plume. We got pretty close to go and check it out, but whilst it was exploding, I wasn't sure if we could enter it or not, and I didn't want to die. Also, there was a sandstorm approaching us. I can see it. That's what we needed the still tents for. We needed to dip and try and find some cover. We flew our Ornithopters into these little crevices here and hope for the best. It's sheltered. Enclosed. Bro, it's nowhere near us. It's going to the east. Like it looks like it's getting closer, but it also looks like it's passing. Once we realized we were safe, we went on our way and found a cave with some NPCs inside of it. Once again, these guys were extremely tough and we were just not prepared to fight them. They absolutely kicked our butts. Thankfully, we were a little bit more persistent and we were able to kill them. When we went to go and loot inside, we got some pretty basic stuff. Bro, this is so shit. There's loot up here, but it's EMF stuff. Day 72 and we found a large divot in the sand. Massive spice fields can spawn here at any point, but they also get eaten by the grandfather worm. Anyways, I think our time is done here in the deep desert. For now, we do return later and it gets crazy. It was time to head back to base and try and add some more points to the Lansrad since House Dodo had dropped down a couple places. I could make a few of these full suspensor belts and get a ton of points. We did have the resources to craft 3 of them up, and then I fly over to the Harkonnen outpost in the Riftwatch and hand in the suspensor belts to the Quartermaster. This then added a few more points to the Lansrad and we went up another place. Day 73, in preparation of going back to the deep desert, we needed to upgrade some of our skills and, just progress a little further. So in doing so, we were going to complete some contracts. starting with this one, checking the post. We had to come over to this wrecked ship, find our way inside, and hopefully not die to another player since this is a PvP zone. Our task was to search the place, which we did, and obviously looted the place up so we could get all the good stuff. Not really sure how we did it, but we completed this mission, and then it sent us to the Imperial testing station. We then made our way over to this testing station, where we ran through it and took down a bunch of these slavers, as well as this boss man. This contract questline is for the Swordmaster, which is probably why this boss in this testing station only uses melee. Yeah, you bum. Once we complete this quest line, we could head back to the Pinnacle trade post, speak to the Swordmaster trainer. Teach me, Swordmaster.
You have returned, Off-Welder.
And we had now unlocked the Swordmaster skill tree and a whole bunch of skill points so we could unlock a few things. The next quest line I wanted to try and complete was the Gather Intelligence quest line. This is so we could unlock further training from the planetologist. He wanted me to go and investigate this first location, whatever this place is. Basically, I just needed to go kill a bunch of sandflies. We investigated this location, found the intelligence, and moved on to the next location, where I got my ass beat. I managed to get the intel from this place and complete this contract. The mission was a little bit bugged. We had completed it, but it still says we have to search the area. It's okay. We've done it. Day 75, we went down to the Anvil to go pick up another new guild member. We were helping him complete the Harkonnen mission so he could finally join the Harkonnen and help us with the Lansrad missions. We had Fang join the party. You might remember him from my 7 Days to Die 100 Days video. Using the Assault Ornithopter, I could help him run around and complete these Harkonnen missions quite quickly. Ornithopters make this process so much quicker than it was when we had to do it on sand bikes. I also had to show off our new guild base as well.
Holy fuck. Oh, it's all black and shit, bro. What? I thought it was like gray.
I then crafted up a whole bunch of gear for Fang, just so he could do stuff a lot quicker and easier as well, and then flew him over to the Atreides outpost so he could do the next Harkonnen mission, but also so I could go and speak to the Bene Gesserit trainer. Since I started as a Bene Gesserit, she's sending me to Harko village to meet the next trainer. There was also another house representative quite close to Helios Gate, the Atreides outpost. Kind of weird for a man to just hang out in a cave, especially dressed so fancy. Since I had contributed to the Lansrad, I could claim some rewards from him. Day 76, and we gave Fang an Ornithopter so he could go and run some other missions by himself so he could catch up. Whilst waiting, we took a quick little trip over to Harko village so I could reluctantly pay our taxes and also go and introduce myself to the next trainer for the Bene Gesserits. Time to upskill ourselves in the way of the voice. I accepted a contract and then headed back to base where I could make this new contraption, the Spice Refinery. We can use this to turn normal spice sand into spice melange, which is an endgame resource that you need to be able to craft all the endgame gear and is extremely valuable and precious for this world. Day 77, I went back to the East Vermilion Gap so I could complete this mission for the Bene Gesserits. I had to travel into this enemy encampment that seemed to already be cleared out, then search around this place looking for a Fremen chamber. We have now found it. Next, we were sent to the Stone Sentinel, where we had to find a path up to the Stone Sentinel. To trigger this mission, we had to go all the way down to the ground. I thought I could just fly all the way to the top, but I was wrong. This contract then told me I needed to make my way all the way up to the Stone Sentinel. I have an Ornithopter, so surely I could just fly up the entire way, right? This mission wants me to scale the mountain, but I'm just gonna fly up it. Oh, except we can't make it all the way with this thing. At high altitudes, you run out of fuel quite quickly, which I did. So I'm gonna have to leave the Ornithopter here while I climb the mountain on foot. It was pretty easy to find my way up since you just follow these kind of like ropes and climbing things. And after a long climb, we arrived at our destination. The Fengemereb. Hey, that's what I was trying to do, but that probably would have been me. I then interacted with Granddad's ashes and began scaling down this mountain back to my Ornithopter. I had it wedged and stuck inside this mountain, and to make things worse, I had ran out of fuel. Nobody else was currently online at this very moment, so they couldn't bring me any fuel, so I had to run it back to base on foot. Mistakes were certainly made, but lessons were also learned. In the early morning of day 78, I began running back to our Ornithopter with some fuel, climbed all the way back up to it, filled it up with the fuel that it needed, and got off this godforsaken mountain. Making mistakes in the sky means I have to be back on the ground farming for resources again. Not just aluminium, but also basalt stone. We needed a bunch of basalt so I could work on this base a little further. The plan was to extend the base at the rear so that we could have a place to land our Ornithopters, particularly the Assault Ornithopter. You see, the Assault Ornithopters you can't put away in your pocket, so if we can build an enclosed place for the Ornithopter, at least it'll stay safe from the sandstorms. I tried to make this landing pad a little fancy with some curved edges, but once I tried to place down the pentashield, it wouldn't fit. It doesn't fit on curved edges. It took quite a bit of experimentation for me to be able to figure this out. Oh, you have to do squares. That sucks. Managed to get it to fit, but once it was finally built, it took out all the power in our base. I didn't realize this at the time. I just thought it was really transparent and we couldn't see it, but it wasn't working at all. I disabled the power on our spice refiner since we're not using it anyway, and this seemed to do the trick. Yeah, now we're talking. Day 80, I returned back to Harko Village to go see our Bene Gesserit friend, hand over the sacred records, and she gave us another contract so we could unlock the 3rd level for the Bene Gesserit skill tree. We have now, though, unlocked the 2nd level, so of course I upgraded some of our skills. Power generation seems to be an issue back at base, so I placed down a bunch of these power generators to try and fill up that space. Day 81, I went to go farm a bunch of flower sand for our guild. Being able to land on the sand like this makes it so much easier to get away from the dreaded worm. Ooh, he's coming. I had also made a few changes to the top floor of our base, and also discussed with Johnny some future plans for our base.
And then have like little 2x2 pockets all the way along, like 2x1 pockets all the way along.
Well, I figured just for practicality to put the generators up there just because they'll be out of the way. And then I went back to the deep desert. I'm addicted to this place. I'm just taking advantage of the fact that it's so early in the launch of this game that there's no PvP out here currently. But there is a bunch of spice that's uncontested, and I want to get my hands on a bunch while I can. Managed to get my hands on quite a bit, and then good old Shai Halud turned up to the party. Holy Lord. I had no intention of leaving this place until my pockets and my Ornithopter was full, but I constantly had to try and get away from the big-ass worm. My inventory wasn't completely full, but it was time to leave anyway. I had forgotten to bring some water, and I was quickly dying. I landed, got out of my vehicle, and wanted to jump back in so I could set my vehicle as a respawn place. I didn't make it. I just got downed. Yeah, this is bad. I fucked up bad. Once I finally died, I realized I could still respawn in my vehicle. Vehicle respawn. Yes. It was time to leave the desert. I came unprepared and I suffered for it. Day 83, once again, I made some alterations to our base. I was never quite satisfied with how it was, and I was still learning the building mechanics of this game. I wanted this to be a grand guild hall, so I'm constantly working on it. Day 84, we had to fly over to the same place that we get insulated fabric because we had a mission here. I was trying to finish the final contract for the Bene Gesserit quest lines. I had to take out all the people inside here, obviously, so I don't die when I try and complete it, and I needed to scan this for life. Problem is, I didn't have a scanner on me. That's clearly it, but why can't I do nothing? Oh, you just scanner. Oh, the resource scanner that no one ever uses I actually need right now? You're kidding me. I'd received the scanner from the Bene Gesserit lady, but I put it in a box back at base. My bad. So I raced back to base and grabbed this life scanner out of the box. Well, I got the schematic for it. I still had to make it. Then I could return and complete this mission. All I needed to do was scan this box. Oh, that worked. Then I had to go to another one of these cultist hideouts, giving me very much Dracula vibes. Now to return back to the advanced Bene Gesserit trainer and hand in this quest. She's quite the cutie. She can compel me to do whatever she wants. We're now able to level up all of our skills to level 3, but if we want the ultimate abilities, we've got to do some further questing. I'm quite satisfied where we're at with the Bene Gesserit quest line, so we're going to continue on with something else right now. Now, I wanted to do the Harkonnen quest line. I want to try and rank that up as much as possible, so that we could unlock all the Harkonnen cosmetics. And Johnny was up to the same mission as well, so we could do this together. This contract sent us to another testing station, but this one was in a higher tier area, so the enemies were pretty tough. This testing station was more of a training camp, apparently. We just needed to find the evidence, and then we could head on out of here. Day 86, we flew back to Riftwatch so we could go speak to our good friend Simone Van Kong, so we could hand in the contract and pick up a new one. She wanted us to go speak with Trip Yates, the Scottish Ron Weasley. He, of course, sent us to another testing station. Again, we got pretty lucky and this place was already cleared out, so we managed to get a bunch of free loot and run through this entire testing station without breaking a sweat. We're speed running through these Harkonnen quests rather quickly. Simone is loving us right now. Running missions gives us a ton of experience points, up to the fact that I am now able to make plastanium products. I'm gonna have to learn a bunch of these so we can get to the end game and go into the deep desert and fight and survive. Currently, the Haga Basin is covered by this storm. This happens every Coriolis storm in the deep desert. It affects the Haga Basin quite a lot. The deep desert is completely wiping and it's going to shift around and everything's going to change there. But it still affects the Haga Basin. All of your resource nodes will then reshuffle around the map and they'll be in different locations. Currently, they respawn in the exact same location. Day 88 and we're required to enter the Sandfly's base. Time to go kill some pesky outlaws. Whilst we're down here, we ran into one of our friends. Who's that? Pozix. Hey, what's up, Pozix? Pozix is a good homie of mine. He was also farming sandflies. What missions you doing, Pozix?
It's called Eliminate Sandflies. I gotta kill 10 of them. Guys, kill them all before I get there.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
It's okay. It's all right.
We're doing the Harkonnen ones right now. In the big loot room, I found the container that I was looking for, and we could head back to Simone and hand in this contract. Grinding out this Harkonnen questline has been quite a drag, but it's been beneficial as well. We've leveled up quite a bit. Day 89, Simone sent us all the way over to Harko Village, where she wanted us to meet this gentleman right here, Peter D. Vires, or whatever the hell you call him. He would send us on a whole political mission set. We would just play the messenger in between all of these characters. It's now day 90, and we still have a lot to do if we want to complete a bunch of content before day 100. We're once again sent back to Harko Village on another messenger mission. Spoke with Creepy Peter again, who then sends us over to Arakeen on some sort of spy mission, where I accidentally bumped into this lady. She's the advanced trooper trainer. I picked up this contract anyways because I'd like to learn some more skills, obviously, but we had to complete the mission missions for the Harkonnens, where we had to meet this ninja in the back alleys of Arakeen. Since we were already in Arakeen, I had another mission that I needed to complete for the planetology questline. I had to meet another planetologist here, and I thought that these ladies were it. Sup, ladies, how you doing? Or this guy, but I was wrong. It was this guy here, Mr. Fancy Pants with the umbrella. He speaks quite proper. Bit of a dickhead if you ask me. Anyways, back to Harko Village where we could speak to Peter, complete the contract for him, and then he gave us another contract where we had to search this cultist area for a thing called Scorda. We did find it. It was this voice recording right here. Did I pay attention to any of the yapping that was happening? No, not at all. But once we did, we had to call Peter. Yeah, you can call people on their hotlines. And surprise, surprise, he wants us to go to another testing station. You guys already know how these go. We run in, we collect all the loot, kill some people, complete the contract, and score the mega loot from the mega box. We were then sent to go find the hunting party. We found them, they just weren't alive anymore. Then we had to look for Scorda once again. We found him, he looked like he'd had better days. Was kind of struggling with eye contact, kind of rude if you ask me. Instead of helping this poor man, I just stared at him with this glaring look. I'm sure he'll be fine. Johnny wanted some alone time with him anyway, so I left. Went back to Creepy Peter, handed this quest in again, and the next mission he wanted us to go check a wreck out. Problem is, it's in the radiation zone back in Haga Basin, and we're not quite prepared to be able to run the radiation in the deepest part of it without dying, I think. I don't know. So we're not going to complete that quest line just yet. We had already leveled up a whole bunch, and we still had a little bit of work to do around the base. Stocking up on a lot of resources, start crafting up these ingots, and I also had a little bit of money, so I went back to my boy Snoopy to go unlock some more Harkonnen cosmetics. Day 93, I added this large wind trap to our base. We are now at the end game of base materials. This should generate a whole lot of water passively for our base. I had also reskinned my Ornithopter. I now had the Harkonnen Ornithopter skin, and this is what it looks like. I then flew down to Haga Basin South to go meet our boy Derek again. I handed in this contract to Derek and now unlocked the next tier of skills for planetology. For some reason, I couldn't continue this quest line. It said additional contracts will be available. I do know now that this was just a slight bug. All I needed to do was just go and talk to him again, and it should work. Day 94, and I found this unique Sentinel helmet, so I crafted it up. Any type of extra armor defense we can get, I'm gonna take it. I also crafted up this Adept Kaprov as well. It's a Duralinium tier item and should be significantly stronger than what we've already been running. With this being said, it's time for us to go back to the main storyline and finish the Glutton quest. We had to come back to the slaver encampment that we had been at earlier and try and find a gentleman named Peter. Not like the creepy Peter from Harko Village. This is a different type of Peter. It's spelt different. We cleared out this entire encampment but couldn't find Peter.
Oh, he's right here.
What? Is it really
on the marker?
On the marker? Oh, he's in the
really
cage.
Obvious.
Oh. He was like, where are you?
Why didn't he say something?
We ran past Peter a bunch of times. He was quiet as a mouse. We then got access to this room. Remember earlier in the video, we tried to come here to try and find Diamondite dust. Now we could finally access it. But this was only a one person at a time quest. Slight spoiler, I had to poison this man that's lying on this bench. Then we were introduced to this maniac right here. Easily the most creepiest character we've met to date. Oh, he's got abilities. I then, of course, had to fight him. I had a difficult time at first, going spice mode. So I turned on the spice mode. Got him. You're dead, you bum. After defeating this boss type enemy, the Glutton, it was time for me to leave, and then it was Johnny's turn. Day 95, we returned back to Ilara Tuek. And this little view looked kind of sus. She was just sitting on a couch, surrounded by a bunch of men. Then she gave us another mission. Day 96, I made a better cut array, some thumpers, and a couple survey probes, because yes, we're going on an expedition to the deep desert. There was a few journey items that I wanted to tick off our bucket list that will also give us a bunch of experience. The first one being I had to build a base in the deep desert. I just did it in the PvE zone and just made a simple 2x2. Once we completed this build, we had ticked off this next journey. Some of the other deep desert journeys that we had to complete were a little bit more difficult. We are not at the stage to be able to make a sand crawler. No, not at all. Maybe in the next video. But we are at a stage where I could go and survey one of these grids. You see, if I place one of these survey probes up into the sky, it will then open up an entire grid for us to be able to see on the map, but only one single grid. You see, the deep desert is 9x9 grids in length. It's massive. Also, reminder, it is a PvP area. That's Johnny on the ground. I had to jump scare him.
Oh man, you scared the shit out of me. Yeah, that's so silent.
We then found this base nestled between these rocks right here. It had an open roof in it, so I went to go inspect it. Now, you can raid in this game, but you can only raid at certain times. If a storm comes through, it'll cut off the power here. I obviously didn't know this at the time, but I was just trying to hit stuff. I enjoy raiding quite a lot. It can be satisfying stealing other people's hard work. This was early in the release of the game, so I didn't know exactly how to do this at this point in time. Throughout this entire video, we were just experimenting with a bunch of things. Day 97, and we saw a massive spice plume in the distance. And we're up to the stage now where we do need a bunch of spice. But whilst we're in the deep desert, we went to go harvest some spice. Thing is, once we landed at this spice, there was someone already here. Wait, who's you? Are you on the ground or him?
Oh, no, he's on the ground. He's on the ground.
Squashing him.
He's still farming.
trying to squash him. I'm ramming him. I'm ramming him. Get out of here, boy. This is ours. What are you doing, boy? Come back here. Let's fight. Come back here, you punk. Little bitch. Come here, you bitch. Come here, you bitch.
Imagine if we had the scout with the rocket launcher. We'd be so set right now.
I kind of bullied this guy away. We had no way to actually attack him whilst he's in the Ornithopter since we didn't have rockets on. But in a PvP zone like this and a highly contested resource, we couldn't have people like this around. We had no idea if this guy wanted to kill us or not. And he probably could. He could just squish us with his Thopter while we're down here. Anyways, we continued harvesting this spice until the worm came. Oh, shit.
Worm!
We took a moment to rest on the safety of this little rock formation and let the worm go away. Then it was back to spice harvesting by hand. Once our inventory in our pockets and our Ornithopter were full, it was time to leave the deep desert. Return back to base and store all of our goodies into our storage safely. The boys also made a desk for me to sit on as well. It's not quite a throne, but it'll do for now. Hopefully we can get some thrones in this game. Hey Funcom, day 99 and I'm looking for some PvP action. So we set up the Assault Ornithopter to fight, and after this storm passed by, we took off to the deep desert once again. Once we arrived, we saw some other players in the PvE zone of the deep desert. Another person was in an Assault Ornithopter. We let him leave. We're not going to fight right now. We were too close to the PvE zone for it to be effective anyway. A little bit later, we went out to explore the deep desert. Just kind of have a good look and see what's around. And if we can raid a base or get into some fights, we'll do that too. For the most part, the deep desert was quite barren. There wasn't much happening. A storm did roll by though, and it did mess up my Thopter just a little bit. My wings and my engine had sustained quite a bit of damage, which is important info for what's about to come. After the storm rolled by, we came back to this base location and tried to blow it up. It should have been raidable, but we don't know exactly what happened. Maybe the storm didn't actually hit this base, I don't know. But it was on day 100 where we found a base with a player on it. So people are building like in the deep desert. I mean, you can. Oh, there's a person standing on top. I'm shooting him, shooting him. I got him! I killed 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 him! Now, sure, that seems simple enough. I managed to get some fuel cells and some boots. But once I took off into the air, that's when all hell broke loose. Oh, shit. No, I'm getting shot at. I'm getting shot at. I'm getting shot at. I was completely terrified at this point. I didn't know exactly what I needed to do to be able to fight multiple enemies at once. No, he's got another mate coming at me. Oh, my God. They're shooting. These guys are good. There's two assault. Oh, they're getting me. They're getting me. They're getting me. They're getting me. I had one of my wings completely broken already. 5 remained, and these guys were messing me up. Bro, these guys are like on my ass. Trying my best to escape, but the PvE zone was miles away.
I'm coming in. I'm coming in to try and ram him.
Johnny came in, but he didn't have any rockets. He couldn't really help. 2 of my wings were destroyed. I was significantly slower than I was before.
Why are they boot? They must have the upgraded version because they are just going up way faster than you. Pull up, pull up, pull up. Oh, wiggle. Oh, they're diving in. You're wrecked. I can see it.
Oh, this is intense.
You need to go slow. They're too fast for you. Like, you're done. You need to wiggle, like.
Bro, this thing doesn't have the maneuverability that other things do.
Oh, they're in, like, they're not even in assault coppers.
Oh, they just smashed me. They're smashing me. They're smashing me. They're smashing me.
Yeah, you've lost it. See you later. You need to use the fact that they're too fast. Like, you know, you can.
Yeah, but what am I supposed to do, Johnny? Like,
I don't know. I don't know. You need to.
Yeah, they've ruined my wings.
You can't climb yet, can you?
I've got 3 wings available. I have to fight. Bug it. Oh my God, this is intense. I'm getting wrecked. I'm dead. I'm so dead. Yeah, I'm gone. This is GG's. My Thopter was completely destroyed. I couldn't gain any height anymore. I had to hit the grounds and run for it.
Just so you know, I ran.
I know. They're trying to rocket my ass. Oh, I got the shitty. I'm dead, bro. They're doing no damage to me though. I'm like running. No, they can't kill me though. They literally can't kill me. The rockets don't do any damage. Boys, your rockets don't do damage. Your rockets are not damaging me. Don't waste your rockets. Your rockets don't damage me.
Are they talking to you?
No, I was just like, bro, what are you wasting your rockets for? They don't do anything to me.
Let them waste them.
With their rockets not affecting me at all, they flew over to the rock formation that they could see that I was running to, and this is where I swiftly learned that I'm not very good at PvP combat. Oh no! He's using a drill thing. Oh bro, he's fucking me up. Oh, bro, I'm stun locked, bro. No, that's... He was toying with me. He even let me get back up. I'm not gonna lie, this looked quite pathetic on my behalf. Oh, bro, I didn't get to change my abilities out. Trying to escape was difficult. This guy's toying with me, bro. And then he finally finished me off. Fucking got me. I was then met in the desert by a strange Harkonnen man. He said that I had embarrassed the Harkonnens and that I must sacrifice myself to Shai Hulud. He placed the thumper down and left me to my fate. Oh!